We're now going to be in conversation with a very interesting person, Porinju Veliyath, MD and Portfolio Manager at Equity Intelligence India, who is featured in this month's Forbes Wealth Wizards, joins us in the studio. And remember, he's known for his multi-bagger as well as contrarian stock picks. In fact, in one of his picks, shares shipping, a stock which has seen a rally from levels of 20 rupees all the way to 700 rupees. Hi, Porinju. Thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us on the show today. You generally pick mostly all these small cap, mid cap companies. Not much is known about them. Take us through your investment philosophy.
Yeah, my investment philosophy, it's basically, I would say, keep it as simple as possible. That's the basic of my the investing style. And I have always noticed most other the people who appeared in the Forbes and even last year, most of them, they have very simple approach to the markets. But at the same time, the style of investing is different from person to person. Everybody is different. And but that doesn't mean one is better than other. Everybody over a period of time evolves and develop their own style of stock picking. It happens, it's not learned from textbooks or something like that. So I naturally go to the smaller companies, mid cap or small cap, in search of values. That is where I reach. Not because I want to buy small cap or mid cap. And I found a country like India, emerging economies, the mid caps and small caps, they're going to the next level. The mid caps going to the large caps and small caps going to the mid caps. That is where you can really make big money. Okay. The other thing is for FIs and all to make mediocre money.
Okay, I like that. FIs make mediocre money. Porinju, the other wealth creators whom we spoke to also referred to catching them young and watching them grow, so to speak. But they have their, their tricks, if you please, or their rules of the game. There are some who look at sunrise businesses, which are going to be in business. There they look at the sector. For instance, Basant Maheshwari spoke about housing finance. I mean, he's attached to Repco, and he thinks that housing finance is only going to grow in India. So do you look at that sector, or do you look at a company? A lot of people bet on the quality of the manager, that they see in someone a maverick corporate governance change, and so they are attached to that kind of a mid-cap. What is your, 1, 2, 3 things that you look at in a mid-cap which you think has the potential for a multi-bagger?
See, again, Basant Maheshwari, I appreciate the way he was buying some, multi-baggers. Now the housing finance companies, that they are in the fancy since the last 1 year, and I think they are all well priced today. Now today I am looking at not the companies which finance the housing. I think it is time to look at the companies who build houses. Okay.
But they are all in a very bad state.
Yeah, that is why I like them. Okay. These companies are in bad shape. Then you get it at that price, that kind of price. Whether these companies can turn around. So
you like a buy in distress?
Not just, I don't like a company just because it is in distress. If it's a JP kind of, I don't like to buy those kind of companies. If a company is, due to perception in the market, is distressed, they have a balance sheet problem, management issues or whatever, and this company can change. See, Lata, I will tell you, the biggest opportunity today for investors, I mean individual investors, is the changing profiles of companies. It could be in relation to the management quality, the promoter ethics, the improving balance sheets. Many companies have learned from the past mistakes of over-leveraging. They have paid a price, they are regretting, they are ready to change. So why don't we look at those kind of companies? And, so these changes, the next generation of the promoters are taking over after coming from Harvard and Boston kind of places. So there could be change in the professionalism in the company, and they could be better managed, better balance sheet. And, India has a lot of them. I find this is the best opportunity, but I like to call it opportunity of the decade. At this point of time, it may not be always there. It's an inflection point. A lot of companies are changing. And coming to some bad managements, very bad managements, totally unethical. They are born like that, they continue to live like that. Even some of them are forced to change because of the new developments, the new guidelines from government on black money, and the kind of corporate governance requirements, compliance requirements, disclosure requirements by SEBI. All these kind of things are changing. And these changes, I think investors should look very seriously. They should work on that, and that's big money for stock investors.
Okay, those are some hints. But let me stick to the sector you spoke about. I will not look at housing finance companies. I will look at those who build houses. And then you went on to, many of them have balance sheet problems, and that fits the sector.
Yeah.
How will you pick the winner in this? I would have liked to ask, who will you pick if you will answer?
No, see, I can just talk, I don't want to recommend any individual stocks as it is, but I feel, the DLF and Anandraj and some Ansal Group companies, and there are a lot of them in Mumbai. There are DB Realities and some stressed Unitech. At this point of time, at this kind of valuations, there is a huge gap between what these companies own and what these companies' liabilities. I'm telling you, this gap is not a small gap. For example, a company like Anandraj, I feel it is priced at around 1,000 crores of market cap, maybe some 1,000 crores of debt, a 2,000 crores kind of an enterprise value. What they own at today's, not so good market conditions, industry conditions, it could be anything above 10,000 crores. It's a guess. It can be on 15,000 crores or 20,000 crores, and they are not that bad kind of a management, I feel. And so the potential of creating wealth is there. And at the same time, I'm not telling this industry will turn around very soon. There is no visibility that way. It may take years because of so much, extra, and affordability is the biggest problem. See, a lot of flats and properties are available. People can't either afford it, or it is much more than the requirement. So there is, it will take, the price has to adjust. I am bearish on the real estate prices. Property prices should go down 10, 20, 30%. In the coming, it may take 2-3 years. But at some level, you will see activity, some reasonable pricing, affordability, and these companies are going to do well.
So give us a few ideas where the financials are weak or the companies are in distress, so the valuations are fairly cheap, but there are signs of a turnaround where the prospects are looking attractive to you.
So your first multi-bag idea is what she's asking you.
No, I was looking at Bombay Dyeing, one company. Bombay Dyeing is, I think, totally ignored in the market for last many years. It's a century-old company, and I think, as I told I think Bombay Dyeing is stopping.
Stop dyeing altogether.
So then it has got a great wealth in Mumbai and all. They have huge priced real estate. They're developing it. A lot of cash flow is coming. This I noticed this company because one of their BSE announcement. They sold a manufacturing unit. They have many manufacturing units. Sold for some 230 crores, and they're reducing the debt. I think this is the beginning of turnaround for the company. If they do it further, they have got much more assets to be sold. And the brand, Bombay Dyeing, is very big. Everybody in the country is aware about this brand. It's a very strong brand, and it's very easy to revive it. And they are into that good business model. If they focus on the brand and the retailing, selling the manufacturing and outsourcing the products, and the cash flow coming from the real estate, which can be thousands of crores, much higher than today's enterprise value. So I feel at, I think, around 65, 70 kind of prices. Please don't rush to buy this stock because I'm talking on the TV, because the stock is already up by some 20% recently. It can give a correction. And Greece is another opportunity for you if you want to buy your favorite stocks. So,
Yes.
Bombay Dyeing, I think people say Britannia is a great management and Bombay Dyeing is a bad management. Lata, can you explain that?
Yeah, it's...
Both are same people, same promoters. So if the stock price goes up, then it's a good management. If the stock price goes down, it's a bad management. This is the investor perception in India. And I think it happens only in India. So these kind of wrong perceptions and market imperfections are opportunities for the market. And another stock...
yeah, you were talking to us in the break about the future consumption.
Yeah, future consumer enterprise, that's FCEL. It's not that well-known company. Even when Lata was talking with the promoter last week, that's why I noticed this company. We're talking about the FMCG growth, talking about 1 lakh crores kind of turnover and, 4,000 outlets. Now, this company, I think this is the only company which is comfortable to me in the group.
Okay.
There is some clarity on the balance sheet, looks healthy, and the business model looks futuristic.
Okay.
And maybe it's too early for, to write off Biani.
Okay.
So I think this is the company which can really create wealth in the future. At the same time, it's not a foolproof value investment idea. You have to monitor the company's developments. But this kind of bets you have to take in the market to find multi-baggers. We don't know. When you buy the stock, you cannot be sure this is a 10-bagger or 5-bagger.
Yeah.
It happens over a period of time. It evolves after you invest in.
Okay. We have to ask you your disclosure. You spoke about 3 stocks in detail: Anantraj, Bombay Dyeing, and Future Consumer Enterprises.
Anantraj, I was just explaining.
Okay, you don't have any stakes in that.
Just telling the gap between the.
No, do you have any stakes? We just have to ask you as a disclosure.
I hold Anantraj.
You hold Anantraj. You hold FCEL and Bombay Dyeing.
FCEL and Bombay Dyeing.
All right, fine.
Then please don't take this as individual stock recommendation. I'm telling you, there are hundreds of such stocks where you find some negative. In fact, those negatives are making it an opportunity. That is why it's available at a throwaway price with a multi-bagger potential. See, like Greece.
Yes.
Now, I'm looking at Greece as an opportunity.
Okay.
I feel very good about Greece when it broke today.
Okay.
And I don't think Greece is going to impact a genuine value investor in India. Unless he has lent money to the Greece or have bank deposits in Greece.
Okay.
Or then people try to complicate life, in investing. They will say, now this will spill over to Portugal and Greece. I mean, Portugal and Spain.
Yeah.
Again, this is all complicating of life. It doesn't have much impact on Indian equity. And could be some companies exposed to them, or some IT companies may have some slowdown in their some aspects. But not these things go on happening in this country. And of course, nothing wrong in, I think the index is down by some 150, 200 points, Nifty.
Yes.
It's okay. I think we also should participate, just to give them some support. But this is nothing but an opportunity. There are a lot of such. Remember, Lata, when we had this QE withdrawal?
Yes.
The market was so panicky before
June
that.
Of 2013.
I remember even you used to make people panic about it.
That's not true at all. Okay, anyway.
See, ultimately when it happened, it was not an event. Nobody talked about this. There was no impact on the market. So these kind of negative developments, it's good for the markets. And in India, I'll tell you, a lot of domestic investors are still shying away from the market.
Okay.
In fact, this kind of events will help them also to come to the market with attractive valuations in the market. I think we are definitely in a secular uptrend in the stock market. I am very bullish on the markets, not on the Sensex or Nifty as it is.
But on individual
the opportunities to pick multi-baggers, India especially, hundreds of such companies are available. Okay. Investors should focus on that rather than discussing all those things.
Thank you very much, Porinju, for dropping in and speaking to our viewers. Important that events like these should be used positively. India is a longer-term big story, but for individual, well-run companies. That's the message coming from this big investor.